Good evening, everybody. We're back in open session. We are going to hold comments from the public until after the 3 or 4 resolutions on the agenda. The first resolution, we're going to move resolution number 2 to the first position. This is a resolution filling the vacancy and appointing the receiver of taxes and assessments for the Town of Rye. This is a very important appointment, and for that reason, I'm going to read the entire resolution, which is something I usually just summarize. So, whereas the duly elected receiver of taxes and assessments for the Town of Rye, Nicholas Mecca, tendered his resignation from office effective October 18th, 2024, and filed such with the town clerk. And whereas it is within the authority of the town council of the Town of Rye to appoint a new receiver of taxes and assessments pending the next general election. And whereas as a result of the impending vacancy in the office of receiver of taxes and assessments, the town administrator, in conjunction with the town council, conducted a public search for applicants interested in serving as receiver of taxes and assessments, and whereas the town publicized the open position in various outlets, including but not limited to local media and the town's website, and whereas the town received several applications in response to the above described search, and each of said candidates were interviewed personally by members of the town council and town administrator, and whereas as a result of the search and thorough vetting process undertaken by the town, it is the considered and a collective judgment of the town council that Carla Pugliese, residing at 539 Locust Avenue, Portchester, is the candidate who best fits the needs of the Town of Rye, and therefore be appointed receiver of taxes and assessments for the Town of Rye to serve in that capacity until December 31st, 2025. And whereas pursuant to New York State Town Law, a new receiver of taxes and assessments for the Town of Rye shall be elected at the general election to be held in November 2025, and said elected receiver shall take office on January 1, 2026, to serve out the remainder of Nicholas C. Mecca's unexpired term, which ends on December 31st, 2027. And now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Rye hereby appoints Carla Pugliese of 539 Locust Avenue, Portchester, New York, to serve as receiver of taxes and assessments for the Town of Rye until December 31st, 2025, with an annual salary not to exceed $90,000, effective October 19th, 2024. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any further discussion? If not, Hope, please call the roll.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Our next resolution is approving the reappointment of Raymond Sculky to the Board of Assessment Review, effective October 1, 2024. Board of Assessment Review appointments are somewhat unusual in the Town of Rye. There are 5 members of the Board of Assessment and Board of Assessment Review, and some of them are appointed only by the Town of Rye. Others are with the recommendation of either Portchester or Rybrook, and still others are with the origination with the Town of Rye, subject to the approval of either Portchester or Rybrook. In this case, the town has proposed Ray Sculky to be reappointed, and the Village of Portchester, by resolution, in September 23rd, 2024, has made the reappointment on their behalf to the Board of Assessment Review. And the final step is for our board to approve the reappointment of Mr. Sculky. So that is what is before us. May I have a motion and a second to reappoint Ray Sculky to the Board of Assessment Review?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Hope, please call the roll.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. And now, Dave Burns takes center stage. We have a resolution authorizing the town controller to execute 2024 budget modifications and transfers. Dave, tell us what this is about
Okay,
and why we do this.
This is really just general housekeeping for the financial reports in the audit. We are not increasing the budget and the appropriations in the '24 budget. That is staying the same, but we are adjusting line items in the budget. We are increasing some line items and decreasing others, so there's no impact to the overall appropriations. And what we try to do when we look at this, we will also work with the department heads. We try, if we add a couple thousand to a line item and a department, we look for that department to find a savings in other line items within judicial or assessment or tax collection. So it's really for reporting purposes. So by the end of the year, that if there's a line item, and then we also will use it for the '25 budget if there's expenditures that are higher than expected, we will do these adjustments to the budget lines for '24 and then use those numbers also for the '25 budget for the individual line items within the departments.
Yeah, just as an example, I'm looking at the first code. In the judicial line, we have the original budget item for translator was $40,000, and there was a $17,000 increase. On the other hand, court security, the original item was $100,000, and there was a $17,000 decrease. So basically, there's no increase in the tax levy. This is just moving items hopefully within the department. Sometimes it occurs outside the department, but basically within the department to make everything even, if you will. And these were effective, we looked at the numbers as of September 30th, Dave?
We did, yes, we did take some.
So if there are any other transfers that may be made, we may do such transfers in December, or in fact wait until next year, because the auditors will pick that up. Any transfers we make in January or February will be allocated to the previous year. Is that correct?
Right, so for when the auditors come in February, this is round one, there will be a round two, and the budget will be amended for those line items, and that's what will be utilized for the audit reports and financial statements for 2024.
Very good. We have a resolution to make these transfers. May I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yep.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. Next resolution is authorizing the town to execute all required documents associated with the Flood Mitigation Program, including an Inter-Municipal Agreement. This relates to Rye Town Park. We are applying to the county stormwater management program for funds to address mitigation measures at the pond at Rye Town Park. The town is making this application because it is a member of the Urban County Consortium, which the park or the City of Rye is not. And the project itself will be approximately a $4 million project designed by our engineers, AI, formerly Dolph Rotfeld Engineering. And the study that was originally performed by AI was funded by FEMA. We're putting that into effect and have applied to FEMA for part of the funding. FEMA, if we get the grant, will fund 75%. And the county, if we get that grant, will fund up to 50%. So with luck, if we get both grants, we'll be able to complete this $4 million project without any local taxpayer fund match. The City of Rye must write a letter in support, and Debbie and James Natarelli of our engineering firm spoke with Greg Ussery, the city manager for the City of Rye, and Ryan Coyne, the engineer, and talked over certain technical matters, and hopefully that letter will be forthcoming. And in the meanwhile, attached to this resolution is a resolution of the Rye Town Park Commission that was passed last Tuesday in support of the town's application. Any questions? If not,
I just want to point out that up on the screen is a site plan for this mitigation project. The line that runs across the park, it will be the future location of a drain pipe that will collect water that's coming, stormwater runoff from the neighborhood, and transmit it across the parkland from Forest Avenue, across the parkland to Dearborn, and then out into the Sound. So that's the plan.
Do you have a cursor that could show that?
Possibly. That will depend upon if Ruby took the cursor out of the bag.
He purchased that project.
Did you have to take the cursor out of your bag and turn it in, or do you still have it?
Does anybody, maybe you have the laser pointer, I used it at Wamoa?
That was the laser pointer I was hoping, but Ruby did the responsible thing and she took it out of her bag, so it's safely stored at the office.
So
But
we
I
don't,
think
can you cursor it?
the thing is, I can cursor it. All right, so,
Start up there at Forest
Does
Avenue.
everybody see the cursor here? Oh, okay, so this is Forest Avenue. This is Dearborn Avenue. And the plan is to capture stormwater runoff that is currently running underneath the ground and emptying into the pond, which is no longer adequate for the purpose. And the result is that we have damage recurring from stormwater, which is running over and eroding parkland. It is overflowing the pond. It is completely overwhelming overland and underland the area that leads to the beach. Often the water that is finding its way onto the beach is massively flooding the beach. We had $280,000 worth of sand replaced after Tropical Storm Ida. And in addition to that, that water is flooding the restaurant regularly. So it's a real problem. So this.
Let me just interrupt you 1 second. So basically, the problem comes from two areas. One is the park itself, flowing into the pond, which is a natural occurrence. But most of the problem comes from the flooding coming out of Forest Avenue. That's what our engineer report said. what the study showed. So there were several plans that were put forth, and this is the recommended plan by the engineering firm. So Debbie, put the cursor on Forest Avenue at the top. Yes, and it goes down Forest Avenue, and then into the park, and down that way. And it may pick up another pipe in the park, I'm not sure. And goes all the way,
Yeah, it'll likely come out somewhere around here to avoid the pump house with a sewer line here. But it'll come out to Dearborn and then down Dearborn and outlet to the sound.
right. So that's what the plan is. And let me finish, Tommy. So the dealings with the city of Rye is obviously Forest Avenue and Dearborn Avenue are in the city of Rye. Well, the whole park's in the city of Rye. But they have the right-of-way, and the items that are being discussed is who's going to maintain all of this pipe, and including that part of the pipe that's in the city of Rye, right-of-way in the street. So that's a discussion that's being held, and I think that is going to be satisfactorily disposed of. Tommy?
Yeah, I haven't been on the beach in a while, but if I remember correctly, from the pond, they used to have a relief pipe that used to go, like you said, goes down to the beach. But that pipe at one time used to go all the way down to the sound. I don't know if it still does or not.
It does, however, it's been fatally compromised
Yeah.
by tree roots, by separations, by sediment.
And I know on the other side of the little roadway that we have that goes, from the park, on the other side, they have a metal screening that always gets clogged up. And that also causes a backup, right? On the other side when it comes from the pond, there's a grate. They have a grate there.
Yeah, the grate is not causing a problem.
It's not causing a problem, because I
No.
know that used to get
No,
backed up
however,
with
the
twigs.
weir has really become, really, Mother Nature has formed its own stream
Okay,
from the pond to essentially to the promenade,
okay.
which is, where's my cursor? There, so right here
Mhm.
is where you're gonna see the outlet. And the pipe runs down here.
All right. Now, another question I have, is it gonna be going through the parking lot at all? The new pipe?
Yes, it is.
Now, there's another good question. Can we go for a grant for a new parking lot?
We already have.
We already have?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because,
The great part about this is we get a whole bunch of new parking lot work done.
yeah, because it's gonna be tearing up, from the looks of it, it's gonna be tearing up quite a bit.
We have a grant in fact, we have 2 grant applications to redo. 3?
Well, we have the Senator Gillibrand, Senator Schumer, and the Environmental Facilities Corporation.
Right, and we have another one going in. Right, the one we applied for last year, we didn't get. We're gonna reapply for that. The 2 programs, 2 environmental facilities.
Whenever
Yeah.
that.
So, yes, we are going for grants to redo the parking lot.
Okay.
But as Debbie said, the problem with the existing structure from the pond to the beach
Yeah.
is not sufficient, and the engineers looked at that, and in order to correct that without doing the piping, they would have to take down a whole bunch of big trees, and because the roots were the problem. I mean, we can try to clean it out and fix it
They'll
up,
grow
but
back
Well,
and they're
we
gonna
have
collapse.
several times,
It's,
it's really not.
yeah, it's probably old tile pipe, and it's just gonna collapse. That pipe's gonna eventually just collapse. I
Right.
doubt very much that it's cast iron, it's
Yeah,
probably tile.
The pipe cleaning equipment could not get through.
Yeah, the roots are too thick. Okay.
so this is the alternate.
Okay.
All right.
Very
Any
good,
other
thank you.
questions? Pam, questions?
I guess my only question would be in regards to reports that come out annually from Save the Sound about the local beach pollution, and would this mitigate some of the pollution in our and even Playland's section of the beachfront?
I don't know for sure, but I can't see that it would make anything worse, because we're moving the existing flow from out, that's already inundating the park. We're moving it into pipes that go into the storm basins. So whether it's going to make it better in terms of the effluent, I don't know, but it's not going to make it worse.
Right.
It'll stop, hopefully, if the engineers are correct, it'll stop the flooding, or at least mitigate. The word is mitigate the flooding. All right, may I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll second.
Hope, please call the roll.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. And now I'd like to see if we have comments from the public.
I'll just take a look at this second. There's a comment from Jody Dwayne Winchester, who sent the council a smiling kissy face.
Lovely. Thanks, Jody.
That beats many of the possible alternatives.
What is the name of the resident?
Jody Dwayne Winchester.
Well, Jody, thank you very much. Smiley faces are always accepted graciously. Thank you.
All right. Supervisor, I must go to work now. Other work.
Thank you for staying around. We do not have any more resolutions, so thank you for participating and voting.
Of course. See you when I'm not in Boise.
Okay.
Bye.
We have our report section. Our assessor is not feeling well and is not here this evening, and he advised us that he does not have a substantial report. It is past October 15th, so all of the tax certs and SCAR, small claims proceedings, have been filed, or they will not be able to be filed. And next month, we will have a report on the volume of the filings and what properties have been filed. Jeff, before we skip to the other reports related to that, an email was sent out. We had a group of tax cert cases dismissed. Do you want to just mention that?
Sure.
We had a group of tax cert cases dismissed.
Could you elaborate on that?
That was too easy.
I led you into that.
Yeah, that was too easy. So periodically, the court now is aggregating all of the tax cert cases that have been withdrawn and or dismissed for whatever reason, and they're doing this en masse several times a year. So it's another court appearance that I have to do. It's mandatory that we have to go. It's virtual, but we have to participate in this conference, which the court, I think our court in Westchester is being required by the Office of Court Administration to do this. All courts in all counties are doing this now. And basically it's just dismissing and cleaning out the calendar. And fortunately, we had about four cases today that were officially discontinued and or dismissed. So that's good. That's four less we have to worry about.
All right. Thank you. And we have, I guess in November, we have our periodic tax cert meetings with the villages and the school district.
That is correct.
All right, thank
So,
you.
in other words, in those cases, the claimant filed something and didn't pursue it, and it got dismissed.
Yeah, it's either that or it's been a negotiated dismissal between the town and the plaintiff's attorney, district's attorney.
All right,
Good report.
those are all good reports, better reports than saying we have to pay money back. Crawford Park. Do we have a report?
Yes, we do.
Candy?
Yes, we do. So, at the end of September, we had BOCES doing their first cross-country track meet. We had Blindbrook, Rye, Portchester, Rhinebeck, and Keogh. And we started having our sponsorship programs.
Excuse me, both boys and girls.
Yes, both, yes. And we had our programs returning, which was Pitch Gladiators, which they're on the fields for soccer. They're on the fields Mondays, Wednesdays, Friday, and Sunday. We have Rybrook Chess Club, that's on Wednesday. And we have Fiddleheads on Tuesday. So their second class, they came to our community garden and picked out some of the vegetables for their cooking class. And the other program that we have is the Council of the Arts, that is also here on Tuesday.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
very good.
What about upcoming events?
Yes, the upcoming event that we have, which is next week on Saturday, is the Trunk or Treat. And that is followed by the movie, which starts at 6:30, which is The Goonies.
And do we want them all to sign up for trick or treat?
We would love if you guys could come and hand out candy. Yes.
Trunks full.
You got
Trunks full.
2 trunks. What are you talking about? You got the front and the back, don't you?
Yeah, but they can't get around, they can only get to one. The back is very big, the trunks, the front is not so big.
Well, you can still come.
And
And then we have the holiday lights on December 7th at 4:30. So those are our
at 5 o'clock.
tree lighting at 5 o'clock.
These posters are really nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Now it's fixed.
Is that it? Might as well go on to Victor.
Yes, Yankees are losing 3-1 in the 7th inning.
I'm glad
That's my whole report.
I'm glad I'm here, not there.
Okay, through NYPA's tree program, New York Power Authority, every year we purchase trees to replace trees that we've lost. This year what happens with NYPA's program is we purchase one, they purchase one. So we added, we're in process right now of adding 16 new trees to the property. This year we've lost 11. 5 in the April storm that took out 2 of our large weeping willows by the playground. But there is a good part to that because we can expand the playground. Right, Gary?
Right, Vic. I'm waiting for your plan.
Yes. The trees we have are 6 bur oaks, 6 different surface berries. Surface berries flowered red, pink, white flowers, so we got a variety in them. 2 dogwoods and 2 hawthorns. This Sunday, to just add to what Candy was saying, we have Art Rye Town's art show. We used to be the Council of the Arts art show, but they're calling themselves now Art Rye Town. For the 5th straight year, this past week, we had Ronald McDonald's fundraising walk. And then, basically, I was gonna say about trunk or treat and holiday lights, but that was covered. We've got a really busy process coming up in aerating, seeding, thatching our new field. It's getting tremendous use. So I probably won't open it up until like the first week of April, once the season's over, so I can aerate it and seed it this fall, late this fall, and then again in the early spring. So this way we have some lush grass there. That's it. Any
Great.
questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just an old memory, did the New York, that program sometime, at least in the past, would the town of Pelham, I know, was able to buy trees and then sell them to residents? Is that a program that still exists, or
I couldn't tell you that.
I
really-
can tell you, I have not heard of anything like that.
maybe many, many years ago?
Yeah, that I don't
But
know.
if they had it, I'm sure you'd be doing it.
I expect so.
Okay.
I can tell you that we've been participating in the NIPA power tree program ever since I was working with the town, so since 2016. And I know that it had been, Rye-Town Park had been participating for a number of years prior to that. But
Okay.
It would be a good program. I have a large.
I'm
No resale.
pretty sure that I'm not making it up, but it could
Yeah.
have been many, many years ago. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vic. Dave, you want to talk about the receivables?
I don't have to, there's not.
I'm,
August and September are low collection months because August is August and everybody's on vacation, and September is the school collections. But overall, our receivables continue to be well under control, or they're 0.73% of the tax levy. Anytime it's below 1.5%, we're doing well, and by the end, so we're still maintaining that. We still have money invested with New York Class and with TD Bank, so we're earning interest on our reserves. So we're doing well on the tax receivable front.
all right. Jeff, do we have a date? I noticed that we have 7 properties on the in rem list. Do we have any idea when your title reports will be in, that we can start our petitions?
I'll check tomorrow. I don't.
All right. Is Nick on by any chance?
No, Nick had submitted a written notification that he had a conflict and couldn't attend.
Okay, well, I just want to, his last official day is tomorrow, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank Nick for his many years of service to the town of Rye. He's very knowledgeable, and I'm very hopeful that he will have imparted some of his knowledge and will continue to do so to our new receiver. And I can't say enough about how we will miss him. It's hard when you've been working for so long in the same place, and sometimes, with all of us, at some point we will have to leave our positions. And Nick has determined that this is his time, and I wish him the very, very best and much success in the future. And I'm sure Hope wants to say something.
Yes, I would. Nick and I have worked together for over 34 years. When he came on board, he went down into the archive room, which was flooded, and he sorted everything, and he secured grants to get all the damaged articles and documents, freeze-dried, and also to provide an archive room for us and shelving for us. He secured grants to get all the minutes scanned, and he worked diligently with all the old tax rolls to get them scanned as well. He has a memory that's beyond compare. He just remembers things, and he's our historian, because anytime someone calls about minutes from 1790 he knows just where to go. But I'm going to miss him. He was very dedicated, and he loved to work. And we worked together well, and I just wish him a retirement full of good health and very happy days. And I just want to thank him for all the goodness that he showed to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Tommy?
Yeah, I know Nick for a long time, and he's very dedicated, very hard worker. And I just wish him all the best with his newly found retirement.
Thank you.
Gary, I'd like to say something.
Sure.
So I met Nick for the first time in 2016 when I started working with the town, and I have found him to be an admirable colleague, and never fails to ask how I am and how my family is, and to take an interest in what's going on in my life. And I would want to wish him a wonderful retirement and thank him for his collegiality.
Thank you. Before we adjourn, Town Clerk's report is submitted.
Yes, but I'd like to mention something.
Please.
For all the residents that own a puppy, a dog, it's a New York State law that you get a dog license. And the purpose of that is to make sure that all dogs are rabies vaccinated. And that's for everyone's safety, animals plus humans. So I urge everyone, they could go onto the website, townofryeny.com, and go to the town clerk's homepage and get the information, how to secure a dog license. You could do it by mail, or you're welcome to come in. And bring your puppy. And we work well with the police as well, because so many times dogs get out of their yard or out of their possession of their owner, and because they have our tag and our telephone number and the license number, we're able to let the police know, or a neighbor, well, not so much a neighbor, but someone in the neighborhood know who the dog belongs to. And that alleviates the dog from being sent to the Humane Society or the society down in New Rochelle. And then they have to pay extra money to get the dog and get it vaccinated and get it spayed, or neutered.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hope, only the town issues dog licenses, correct? Not the villages.
No, we
So-
do it for the villages.
No, yeah, but we do it.
You're right, we do
Right,
it, only us.
so it's only the town, and I'm noticing from Hope's report that this year, we had a total of 206 dog licenses.
Right,
So the question I have, do you renew this every year?
every year
Every
they
year.
get a renewal notice. The only thing, you could get a 2-year license, which a lot of residents are doing because it's cost effective that way. So we have over 1,200 dogs licensed, and it goes periodically. Like some won't renew until another 2 years from now.
I have to tell you, the Town of Rye has almost 50,000 people. I cannot believe that only 206 people got dog licenses.
No, we have over 1,200.
Even 1,200,
Mhm.
that's
Right,
that's
that's
not a
why we're,
lot.
right, but we don't do the licensing for the village of Mamaroneck. They do their own.
Yeah, but
But-
Rybrook and Portchester.
Well, I'm encouraging
I
everyone
know
to.
you are. I'm supporting you.
Right.
I think what we need to do is put it right on the front page of our website. So when people come onto it, they're reminded, you must have your dog licensed. In some nice words, but somewhat threatening, but also nice.
Right, I put it in the newspaper a few times just to remind them. but we'll use our website as well. And
A great use of our Text My Gov.
I did mention that, too,
Feed.
that
Oh,
was
that's a great
something
idea.
I was
Yeah,
gonna put on.
If you would work with us tomorrow or just put together an idea of what the message will be, we'll be more than happy to send it out.
I'll be glad to.
All right, I'll make an announcement along those lines. For anybody who's trying to contact the Town of Rye via email, our current email address will work for a while, but we have a new domain due to the security requirements of Westchester County and the federal government. All municipalities must have what's called a .gov domain name. So it's no longer .com or .org, it must be .gov. And the new name, you can write it down if you're watching this or look on our website, is Rye Town NY, all one word, RYETOWNNY.gov for all correspondence. And I have a question. When is our new website going to be operating?
Our new website is under development, and I'm going to give you the date of March 2025. With complete confidence, we'll beat that.
Good. And that website will be totally newly reconstructed. It will be very easy to use. And we're even going to have an app that goes with it, so you can contact us immediately on the phone and find out all kinds of information. And we still have Text My Gov. Do we have the code on the website that people can,
Yes, it's
Yeah.
on our homepage.
right, so that,
It's rytownny.gov.
yes. Now, I really wanted, when we set it up, I really wanted it Rye NY, but the city of Rye, I believe, took it, or we felt badly about stealing it, so it's Rye Town NY, not Town
I
of
think
Rye.
it's more clear, since there's confusion often between Rye City and the Town of Rye,
Right,
you know.
so it's rytownny.gov. So please change your contacts for us. That's all of us. The first name becomes the same. Most of us have an initial in our last name, so be advised. Comments from the council? Any?
Hope to see everybody at trunk or treat, and everybody have a safe Halloween as well.
Yes, we will meet before Thanksgiving, so we will wish everybody happy Thanksgiving at the next meeting. Our next meeting is November the 21st. That is before Thanksgiving,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Yes.
Good. All right. Motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.